begin recording the meeting, and I will turn it over to our applicant team.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. My name is John Krulicki. I'm the Vice President of Facilities and Support Services for UPMC Presbyterian Shadyside. And we're excited. One, I want to thank the two organizations in the city for putting this on for us. We're excited to share our plan today. As you said, it's a minor addition onto the Montefiore campus, and it's our UPMC radio pharmacy project. And I want to turn it over. We will have other people too, if we need to let them in to answer if there's any clinical questions, but I'm going to turn it over to our architect, Wes Weiss. He's with LGA Partners, and he will go through the project. He will explain everything we're doing, and then we can answer any questions at the end. So thank you. Wes?
All right, thanks, John. I'm going to share my screen here. And hopefully everyone can see that.
Looks good.
All right, I'm going to just adjust here a little bit. Okay, great. So as John mentioned, I'm the architect. I'm with LGA Partners. I'm going to talk about the building portion of it here. And then we'll have some folks from the pharmacy side and from PharmaLogic talk about what goes on inside it a little bit more probably. To start with, we're going to look at the site. So the project is located at Montefiore Hospital. It's on the southern side of the hospital. And as John mentioned, it's a minor, I'll call it reconfiguration of this corner of the facility. For reference, for those of you who can't see, we're on the corner of 5th Avenue and Chesterfield Road. There's an entry point off of Chesterfield at that location that comes up towards what used to be a loading dock at the facility. The project itself stays within the existing building's footprint. However, that is within just a few inches of the property line. So we will be seeking a variance for the setback requirement that's part of the residential compatibility standards, where we're required to be 15 feet from the property line. But as I said, we'll be within the existing footprint, which is already within that distance. The existing conditions. This area of the hospital was the former boiler house originally. So the portion you see here with the stone on the corner, it was the original boiler house for the hospital. Since then, there have been some minor additions, some small pieces sort of tacked on at this location for various storage functions and things like that over the years. This project will be sort of cleaning that up into a single mass, increasing the height, and we'll show you why that height is what it is here. But this corner will then be sort of one single brick piece of the building. So juxtaposed here with the existing, you can see the sort of the grouping of smaller masses that were there is now one large mass. We are a little shorter than that tall piece we were looking at before with the red metal panel. But overall, the same footprint as the existing building. Looking at it again here, this is the existing that is part of the project. This is the area highlighted in purple will be the location of the new radio pharmacy. And that's a representation of what it will look like. The parapet wall is an 8-foot extension above the roof level. And that is to help us control the acoustics and reduce noise from any rooftop equipment we have up here. We're also employing the use of a acoustic pergola, which is a specially designed enclosure to minimize noise from rooftop equipment. Looking at it in elevation, you can see the new portion of the facility, or the reconfigured portion here, with the 12-story hospital there in the background. Any exhaust that we have will be running up to that higher roof and exhausting up high, so it's not down low here. Looking at it in sections, so the existing residential buildings that are adjacent to the property, their height, is 33.5 feet or so. The existing boiler house was 29 feet. We are increasing that height by 9.5 feet. And again, that parapet is going to help us mitigate noise from the rooftop equipment. As far as the project schedule goes, we're looking at a start date of January of 2024. We hope to have the envelope completed in August and then have construction completed by the end of the year next year. And with that, I'm going to ask or let Al from UPMC, as well as Adam from PharmaLogic, maybe talk a little bit about what goes on in this facility and the literally the life-changing medicine that will be produced here.
Thank you, Wes. And I will let both of those individuals jump on as panelists. So we have, if that's
Al
correct.
Latrelli.
Okay, great. Okay, we're going to promote him to panelist, and then the other one was Adam.
Yes.
So once those folks get on with us, I think we can start with Dr. Latrelli, I guess.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't do the clinical part justice, so thanks for letting him in.
Can you hear me okay as well?
Yeah,
Yes.
there you are, Adam.
Yes, we got you.
Awesome. May I also ask that we add 2 more on here? I've also got Elizabeth Romero. She can speak to some of the specifics of some of the products that we produce, and we also have Ashley Mishu. She can speak to the regulatory affairs and quality and regulatory piece of it as well, if we need to get deeper into that.
Sounds good. Yeah, I've just allowed them to join on.
So I'm happy to start and kind of explain what we're doing here from a clinical standpoint. This facility is something that will give us the capabilities to manufacture radiopharmaceuticals. So the main group of these radiopharmaceutical compounds are radio tracers. People are probably most familiar with them because they allow us to diagnose dysfunctions in different body tissues. They're routinely used in different imaging locations, hospitals, outpatient imaging centers, where medical personnel inject them into patients. After about 30 minutes, the patient can be scanned by these PET scanners, where we get a video image of the agent as it moves kind of through the body, and then to what types of cells that take it up. The cells basically, see it as fuel, they concentrate with it, and then we know what types of cells they are on these pictures. So that's pretty much the diagnostic aspect of it. We now have the ability to treat patients with theranostics. So that's a term used to describe the combination of using one agent to diagnose, like I just explained, but then substituting a part of it with a second agent, which is actually the drug that delivers the therapy to treat conditions such as tumor cells and cancer, these different plaques in Alzheimer's. Once we know the cellular type, we know what type of drug we can attach to treat patients that might not have any type of therapy that would work for them today. So this facility increases our capabilities of treating patients with different types of ailments. As you look at the layout on the screen, you can see there's a lot of different rooms. In the back, the old boiler space, that is where these cyclotrons, where we make the radionuclides, the pieces that are the actual diagnostic theranostic agent that we can see on scans. In the front space, there's compounding or there's control areas for making the agents in those cyclotrons. On the upper level, so that's to the right, sorry, there's compounding areas where we actually finish making the drug. So this is a facility that meets a lot of different regulatory requirements. Because they're actual drugs, we need to meet, FDA requirements, as well as certified good manufacturing practices, all of these different requirements. Since there's some radioactivity, we do need to meet all of those requirements as well. So there's a lot of regulation and controls that go into this. It's a very small amount. I mean, the thing that we have to keep in mind are we're making things that are meant to go inside of people, to cure them, to treat them, to help them, not harm them. So, we talk about this facility and what it does. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just more technical and clinical. So keeping that in mind, we have this position in a place where we're able to get drugs to adjacent areas within the Montefiore space for our patients that are already going through radiology, as well as access to that driveway that you saw. So whenever we need to ship them to other locations. So it's really located in a great space for our patient care model. We have Department of Transportation requirements that we meet to make sure that they're shipped safely, as well as all of the internal shielding within the facility and on all of our devices to protect the people that are working with those agents up close. So overall, this is actually a big step for UPMC and for the patients in our area. There are a lot of cyclotrons out there. In fact, we have 2 of them already in Presby proper. They're smaller and designed to do different types of diagnostic agents, not the therapy piece. They exist in a lot of different academic medical centers throughout the country. What's novel here is just the approach that we're using, where we can treat conditions that previously didn't really have cures. And I think that's a quick overview. Happy to take more questions later or pass it off if anyone has anything else to add.
Thanks, Al. I think that's good. I think we have the rest of the group on that can answer any questions when we get there. So thank you.
So John, should we pass it back to Wes to keep on going?
Yeah,
or-
I think, do we have one more slide left, Wes? Is it just questions now or?
Yes, yeah. Hang on one second, I'm getting there. Yeah, it's just questions. Yep.
Great. Well, thank you so much for that presentation. We will now open it up to general questions and comments from the audience. And once again, if you would like to speak your question, please use the raise hand function and we'll invite you to speak. Also, feel free to type in a question into the Q&A. So we'll give everyone a moment to kind of All right, so we do have one question that just came in the chat. And did anyone contact the property owners at 128 and 130 Chesterfield about this project?
I do not have that answer. Wes, I don't know if you do, or Greg Jabala, who's listening, can text me. We do know the two property owners directly behind the building are rental properties, so the people in there are not the owners. But I'll see if I have that information for you.
All right, thank you. And I think we'll now go to a hand raised. We have Mavis Rainey.
Hi, Christian, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Great. Okay, thanks. Hi, John. Hi, Wes. I just had a question for you. Can you walk through any anticipated impacts to Chesterfield during the construction?
Well, there will obviously be truck traffic associated with the construction. Now, I would advise that all of our truck traffic should come off of Fifth, which is Chesterfield is two ways up to the drive that comes into this area, so that we would stay out of the residential section, which is the one-way down section of Chesterfield. That way, truck traffic would just be right from the corner there to the property and then back out, or to the site and back out.
Hey, Wes, there's a PRT transit bus stop at that corner.
Correct, yes.
So we would need to probably work with PRT if you anticipate heavy construction vehicle traffic. That would certainly, potentially cause some concerns for safety for the transit riders accessing that bus stop.
Hey, Mavis, the traffic for this job due to the size is going to be pretty small and limited. Even with everything else we have going at the hospital, all deliveries we would ask to probably come, early in the morning. But they would go Fifth Avenue up Chesterfield and then never get on the residential street. They would turn into the site before that.
Thank you, John.
I always thought the bus stop was a little farther down. Is it before that, or?
It's right at the corner.
Right
Okay.
there.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's the corner right across from Shirley's Pizza, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I did get an answer back. We have not directly notified those residents. But we can notify. We did find out, we were trying to get information. We did find out their landlords. So their rental properties, we can try to reach out to them too, so.
Great, sounds good. We will now move to another hand raised, Roger Altmeyer.
Christian, can you hear me?
Yes, we got you.
Again, this is Roger Altmeyer with UPMC. I think historically, we don't contact the property owners directly until after we have this meeting. That will certainly follow up. We do also know that when we build this, we will require construction easements from both of those property owners at a minimum to perform these improvements. So we will certainly need to be in contact with them in regards to those as well.
Great, thank you. All right, looking in the chat, don't see any comments, don't see any hands raised. It looks like in the chat now, question from Andrea about the timeline of reaching out to those property owners you mentioned.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to clarify. What is the timeline for construction is what I wanted to know.
Sorry.
Sorry, my fault.
No, all good.
Wes, if you could go back to that slide.
Yep.
So we're looking at a January start date with the building. When they say building envelope, that's kind of the enclosure being done, and then we'd be working inside, building out the rest of the space, and then hopefully completed by December of 2024.
Thank you so much. Sorry to ask you to repeat that.
No, that's okay. No problem.
All right, so once again, don't see any hands raised and no new comments, so I'll give everyone a few more moments. If we don't get anything, we can wrap things up. Right, and with that, if there's any other final comments from the applicant, I'll let you jump in. If there's anything else.
No, I just want to thank everybody for their time. And, obviously this is one of those projects that really takes not only UPMC, but Pittsburgh to the forefront of us being able to treat, different diseases. So just thank you for your time. And if there's any other questions, we can answer them at another time. And I see Roger's got his hand raised. You might want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Just in terms of timing, I think, and Wes, confirm if you would, we do have a hearing in front of the zoning hearing board on September 14th. I think that's the date. It's a month from today, plus or minus. So that process will be underway, and we will certainly do the notifications directly to these adjacent neighbors here in the coming week.
And that's correct, Roger. Yep.
Excellent. So yeah, I think if there's nothing else, I think we will close. And once again, thank you to everyone for participating, and have a good evening.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.